Police Minister Bheki Cele has vowed to restore unity and peace in Kwazulu Natal following the killing of more than 20 people in Phoneix, north of Durban. Cleanup operations are continuing in Soweto following mass-scale thievery at various shopping centres in the township and other parts of Gauteng. And SABC will broadcast tonight's CAF Champions League final after successful commercial negotiations with SuperSport. Coming to you live from the Auckland Park in Johannesburg, this is SABC News, DSTV channel 404, and you tuned into SA Today. I'm your host, Flo Letwaba. Let's take a look at our leading story then this afternoon. We begin here. Police Minister Bheki Cele is now briefing the media following his engagements with residents of Phoneix in KwaZulu Natal. Let's take a listen in.
Reach that stage to avoid that resurgence. But I think the law enforcement agencies will be better equipped, as President said, that we're not better equipped, and they use the experience that happened to go forward.
So the question would be that if they...
There's a question.
I just wanted to link it to his question, Minister. We've seen army tanks rolling into Kwamachu, Israel, and you yourself said that there is nothing more important than losing lives. But we haven't seen the army here, the roads are still blockaded. Well, is there any reasoning behind that?
Up to this point, we have allocated 85 police here, and the tanks are expected to roll tonight or very early morning to this committee that we think we are pulling together. Because one thing that has been raised is that people have seen police and soldiers coming and ending only in Phoneix and not attending other communities. That's why we say this committee will work with the police so that they identify those soft and those sensitive areas. So police they deploy accordingly, including taking the streets so that everybody moves away from the streets.
On the instigators too, Mr. Tulani Lomo, we saw him handing himself over at the Durban Central Police Station yesterday, and rumor has it on the street that he was told that he is not a suspect and that they are not after him. Can you confirm?
Well, he did not hand himself to me. I know that he did go to Durban Central. I know that there were some detectives dealing with the matter, and for me it ends there for now.
Minister, I want to talk about this issue because one of the things that we've noticed is how quickly things have escalated when it's come to the looting, right? So the issue is these crowds didn't come magically to these stores in their thousands. They started in smaller groups of 50. Some of the complaints that we've been getting, and again, you can verify this if it's in fact true, from police officers at station level is that they said that they didn't have access to the items that were required to manage crowds, your rubber bullets, your tear gas, and they said that was reserved for POP. But POP was not necessarily there at the start. Could things have been different if they had access to those tools?
What is not very correct is that they started as small groups. No, they did not start as a small group. We have the pictures there. We have the videos. As you see at Nanda Road, there was no 50 people there.
What about the resources, though?
I'm answering the question that you asked. If you ask and you want to answer, do so. But you raise the issue to say these people, they started. I'm saying to you, that is not correct. I've been on these things. I walk, you have seen, they come in numbers. Indeed, the resources would have been given to the POP because those are the people that are equipped to deal with this matter. But it has to be escalated to equip the station when it was clear that POP themselves could not cope. It is on that score that we flew the police aeroplane from Pretoria to Durban to bring those things because we're realizing that indeed we needed to equip everybody.
Okay, let's give other people a chance, please, in your time.
Minister, how has the death toll been determined? And what's delaying knowing a final toll?
Where? Here?
Of the total death toll of the violence in this area.
Well, one other thing. People have been blocked to go and identify their dead one here. by the mortuary here in Phoneix. That's why this committee, together with the police, will accompany those people to go there. Secondly, it was not an easy access for the people from this other area to come here, who they believe that there are people lying around the trees that are dead. There will be a team accompanying those people. So when those people have been found, if they are dead and identified, then we'll know the toll.
All right. Does the toll include the unidentified or no? The unidentified in the mortuary, does it include those?
Well, the people that are identified, to be exact, there are 20. But people say there are almost 10 more missing people, which could go up to 30 or 35. But there are people, and those people, they were picked up here dead, either shot or hacked.
All right. Based on what you saw today, what's your response to the allegation that there was a race war that has taken place here?
It's not today. It's not today. I've always said there is criminality here, and it sparked that at the end of the day, the whole issue took the race posture. I've always said so, and I maintain that there is that, but you are not going to subtract that there was criminality that sparked that. But unfortunately, the final posture seems to be racist.
All right,
Minister Reginald from the SABC. Last night, President Cyril Ramaphosa said that the security cluster could have done better to actually bring this violent protest under control. What's your stance on that?
I've been saying so long time ago myself. I didn't start after the president that we could have done better. We could have few skeleton buildings, as you see, the supermarkets, the malls, and all that. Us doing better would have been less of those things. But what here, and the president, as he emphasized and we agree, from ourselves is also explain that we did do some job. For instance, people don't tell the story how Pavilion survived. They don't tell the story. There were not 50 people there moving from that neighboring township there. There was a long queue. There we had to send even the special task force. Special task force does not deal with things like crowd and all, but we had to send it for that place to be protected. And there are other places that have been protected. There are places like your reservoir, your water reservoirs have been targeted and they've been protected. Hospital, they've been and they've been protected. There are many things and many places that are still standing. And yes, short, but police did the job. One thing I want to raise, I'll raise it everywhere I go. I went to Pretoria. I went to 4 places. I started in Mamelodi Mall, which was partially attacked. As I went there, the media packed and told the story. From there, I went to Tshwane Mall. Not a scratched window, no media, not a single one, not reported. I went to the plant where they built Ford Rangers, and then the community came and said, not in our name, not a single report from the media. I went to Homo at Alfredville, there are 210 shops, only one attack, not a single. So this thing of going to 4 places, 1 attacked is well reported, 3 not attacked, nobody. So it looks like everything, there's nothing surviving. So that's a problem that all of us will have to deal with.
Minister, you spoke about the community and their role in doing this and doing this, protecting their communities within the ambit of the law. So I just want to get clarity on these roadblocks, or should I say roadblocks, that we are seeing across the city. What is your stance on that? While we've seen community members gathering there, some people are doing it peacefully, some are doing it more violently. What is the SAPS's stance?
Well, the crux of the matter is that I don't know which road did you drive coming here. There are many banned cars coming this way. And there are many stories where people were harrowed and abused, including women. There are many dead bodies lying in the mortuary. That can't be legal. They can't be legal. They can't be legal. Communities have the right to defend themselves within the law. One of that, if you believe that Cele is breaking the law, yours is to hand over him to the South African police. But also, there's nothing wrong when the structures of the community work with the police and they are there. You know, I met a young lady who is a member of the South African Police Service that was abused, crying, saying to me, Minister, I'm thinking of resigning. Even when she has showed her appointment card, she was still abused. So that can't be legal, and we can't allow, and we can't. When you come here, people they think that they really threaten us and we run away. No, we are not that kind. We are simple saying, let's work with the communities and work within the law. The communities have raised the inadequacy of the police. We'll have to examine that. But when that is corrected and that is adequate, communities will have to go back, take their places, and allow the law enforcement agencies to take over.
Minister, I'm going to take the last two questions. Can we agree, colleagues?
Yes.
Okay. You go.
Okay, Minister, you've announced a myriad of investigations that are going to ensue the alleged vigilantism, the alleged racism, the looting, Operation Keep a Receipt. But one thing we haven't heard, and I support this question by what we've heard in these visits that you've done today. We heard that in the previous committee that we went to, that police themselves were fueling the looting. We've heard here that police were watching while people were being hurt.
Which means you don't listen.
I was listening, Minister.
You don't listen. I've said here, we will investigate the role of the police.
Yes.
That's what I've said.
Okay.
I've said it here, I said it, so you're not listening.
Okay.
Okay, and then
That's the last question. Go ahead, Ian.
thank you, Lorenzo. The last question is around the ammunition that was targeted. So what I want to know clearly is, I remember that there was a significant portion that was recovered. At the time that it was stolen, was it in the care of the SAPS? Was it there?
Loto was not in the care of the SAPS. Fortunately, that night I was on the field. I picked up a first box, small box, that had 500. It got expanded. We picked several boxes that were 1,000, and they got to 100 themselves. Later, the provincial commissioner, as we're standing there, came with somebody, the gentleman, that said that was taken from the port, Transnet, to one of the warehouses there. But police have refused to grant the permission for them to move out there. And then we were told by those gentlemen that it was not just boxes, it was the whole crate that got lost. We don't know how many there were in there. So there is an investigation going on now. One, what was the destination of that box and all? But two, if police have not granted the permission for them to leave the harbour, how did they leave the harbour? And find where they are and the people that facilitated this illegal movement. So there where the investigation is.
I think that's clear. Thank you, colleagues. I'm on my phone. Thanks, Minister.
All right, let's leave it there. That's, of course, the Police Minister Bheki Cele in Phoneix in the north of Durban, addressing the media briefing at the media following that engagement that he's had a short while ago with residents of Phoneix, where we saw violence and unrest, particularly in Phoneix this week. Well, a number of schools